Hey guys, Michael here from the Michael Clopton channel, where I get to talk to you about practical financial information for real people in a real world. On today's video, I want to talk to you about 3 savings accounts that I believe everyone should have. And then later, somewhere in the video, I'm going to throw a bonus one because, well, I'll tell you more about that just ahead. Hey guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button below yet, please do that right now. And also hit that like button below as well, so that this video can get in front of lots of other people from my channel right here on YouTube. Thank you so much. All right guys, I want to talk to you today about 3 savings accounts, or as you could call them, savings funds, that I believe everybody should have. And what are those 3 savings funds or accounts? One, the savings account would be an emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is a fund that you have set aside. So if something comes up, like a tire needs to be replaced, or the battery, or some other thing that's going on in your life that wasn't necessarily a planned item, that you would have the funds in order to take care of that. We all have things that come into our life from time to time, and this is what the emergency fund is all about. This is your peace of mind fund, even, if you will. As my grandparents used to say, that it's a rainy day fund, and it's not about if it's going to rain, it's about when it's going to rain, because stuff happens. Details seem to get in our life that we didn't quite plan for. So this emergency fund is an answer to that situation, and it helps you. Now, all of us who deal in the financial world of personal finances and otherwise, with very few exceptions, say that your emergency fund needs to be equal between 3 and 6 months of what of your expenses every single month are. So electricities, house payments, taxes, whatever that might be, whatever you're going to have to pay for in 3 months or 6 months, that's what you need to have in the emergency fund. Another great reason to have an emergency fund is when you want to change a job, or maybe you lost your job. If you have 3 to 6 months of your income, you know for 6 months that you are completely cool, because you've got everything you need for the next 6 months, that while you're out there looking for a job, or while you're out there changing jobs, you know that no matter what happens, even if you aren't quite up to snuff, so to speak, on how much you make, you know for 6 months that you're all good, so you're making some money. I recently spoke to someone who wanted to change jobs, and they were having insecurities about it and real hesitant about it. So I talked about them about using their current job and take those seeds, the monies that they make, and put that in a savings account for an emergency fund, and for them to save 3 to 6 months. Then they can step out into the other job with this big pad of comfort, knowing that they have themselves taken care of, and they can go jump in to whatever the new job is that they want to do, that they like, and that brings them joy as well. Now that you have that emergency fund idea established, and you're going to start working on that emergency fund to catch the details that fall in your life, the next fund that you need to work and create simultaneously with your emergency fund is something that I like to call a quality of life fund. So while you're funding your emergency fund, let's say you're taking 10%. Just 10% of whatever you make every week, month, whenever your payday is, whatever comes in your hand, you're taking 10% of that, and you're going to roll that over into your emergency fund to catch those details. I want you to take, of that 10%, I want you to take 2 or 3%, whichever is comfortable for you, and roll it over into a quality of life fund. What is a quality of life fund? A quality of life fund is a fund where you're able to go on vacation, weekends to the beach. Maybe you and your significant other or friends like to go over to that specific restaurant or resort, and you're always going like, you're scraping together trying to get that money. If you have a quality of life fund, this quality of life fund is already money that you've set aside on purpose to be able to do these kind of ideas. I like what somebody said one time. It goes, a luxury tried becomes a necessity. So you want to fund that. And I've got a video called the Quality of Life Fund. I'll put a little card here, and it'll also be at the end of the video with the emergency fund one as well. So those are the two funds that you need to be working simultaneously. Absolutely. Now the thing about the emergency fund is that you're not going to be funding it every single month for the rest of your life. Once that fund is done, you've reached your numbers, unless those numbers change, your 6 months or 3 months change, which they can, and I hope they do, that you're not going to really be messing with that account anymore. You're going to set it over and let it be drawing interest. Your quality of life fund is going to be sitting over somewhere and drawing interest for that. But you want to get these things to a place where they're quickly accessible, not with your checking account, not with your regular savings account in your brick and mortar bank or wherever that you bank, but something separate, so you're not tempted to dip over in it and grab it for something else. So these are the first two accounts that I think everybody, the funds that everyone should have. Now for the third one. You have your emergency fund that's funded already, it's solid, it's ready to go. You have been contributing to your quality of life for those special events, occasions, places, whatever it is that you like to do, trips that you'd like to take. My daughter recently took a trip to Japan that she funded with quality of life. You could do that with your quality of life fund. The third fund that you need to have is your opportunity fund. I think people look at their jobs so wrong. When you have you're working in your job, you're looking at your job just to create a living, to pay the bills. And that's okay when you're starting and you're getting things rolling and you're moving, but you need to shift your viewpoint of your job and think of your job as that element at the moment in the beginning that's creating these financial seeds for your future. So an opportunity fund is another fund that you have set aside separate from your other accounts that you're putting money into. Now the money from the emergency fund's done, take that money and start throwing that into your opportunity fund. And any other extra money that you can get, put that in your opportunity fund, because the opportunities are going to be coming in your future and you can be ready for it. Most people who have become very, very wealthy and very, very comfortable have used this smart savings idea that they saved their money, and then when an opportunity came, like just during the 2008, 2009, whenever that was, the housing crash, a lot of people had saved up money and saved up money. So when the housing market went down to all-time lows, they started taking that opportunity fund, using that opportunity to buy up houses, and many of them to this day are now multimillionaires because they had money for that opportunity. Maybe your opportunity isn't to buy housing, maybe you want to start a business that's going to bring cash flow into your life, or you want to use that money to invest in your retirement, stock market, whatever it is that you like to do. You need to have an opportunity fund. So that 10% that you were putting into your emergency fund, now let's put that into an opportunity fund. And then still take that 2% or 3%, whatever it is you decided, and keep rolling that in to your quality of life fund, so that you have the three main savings funds that will change the direction of your life and the quality of your life. The three savings funds that I think everyone should have. Okay, it's time for the bonus savings that I told you about in the beginning of the video. Now that you've fully funded your emergency fund, you've got the 3 to 6 months already set aside, let's explore the opportunity of having what I call my next car fund. Now, you may raise an eyebrow at that, but what would it mean to you that if you made payments that you were actually making it to yourself? You were putting it aside in a high yield savings account, and a little bit of interest was being paid to you every time you made that payment, rather than to the bank or the car loan place. That is what a car savings is all about. A car is one of the most expensive items that we could have in our life. And that is because, we're paying the payments, paying the interest, paying the taxes on the tags, the repairs, the gas, running it all. I mean, the list can go on and on and on with a car. So to have a car and have a high interest on that car as a loan is really a very, very bad idea. But you can skip that whole program and pay for your car in cash by paying yourself the car payment and putting it into a savings account. So the best thing for you to do really is to have a car savings fund. All right, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel today. I appreciate you watching this video. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the like button so that this video can get in front of more people here on YouTube. Thank you again. This is Michael from the Michael Clopton channel, and I'll see you in the next video.